Hi everyone, this is Philippa at Flip Cat Craft. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. This is my first ever craft challenge. So it's a bit of a craft with me, and it's also what I made. It's a challenge from Mandy from Sunflower Indoors and Justine from House of Mahalo. So very excited, thanks for including me. And I've never done one of these, so I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. But we had a list of things that we had to include. So the first one was to grab a sheet of cardstock product packaging or something from your scrap bin. And this has kind of dictated everything else, because the first thing I grabbed was actually something, I was going to use it for, I think, a card or something, and then I realized it was a textured piece of cardstock, so it was already folded. It's A4. I probably wouldn't have picked this under other circumstances because it's a bit bigger than I would have liked, but because of this, I've actually grabbed extra elements of the other stuff so that I can, you know, use this and not waste it. So that's that. Then fabric, ribbon, lace, or something similar. So I already had this lace butterfly on my desk. I pulled it out for my ring journal project and then didn't end up using it. So that was on my desk, but I grabbed this lace so that I have two options. So not cheating really, because that was there, but I was told to grab something, grab that. Book page. So I grabbed two from the same kit. It's from Your Creative Studio kit. I actually, a few of these elements are from that because I just grabbed everything and I was wanting to do something with that anyway. Then we have a sheet of craft paper. So I've got this from my stash. A sticker. So I grabbed these two. I want to use this one, which is the one on top, and whatever I pull out now. So blue butterfly. Embellishment or piece of ephemera. So I have a pack of ephemera pieces. So I guess that. But I might, because I might need extra, I might grab a couple of other bits in here. I got this at a craft show many years ago. I had completely forgotten about it. There's all kinds of little bits of goodies in here. So because I'm going to be doing a little booklet, I'm probably going to need more than one, but that's the one I'll start with. Something dyed. All right, well, here's a tag that I did in a session where I was using my distress stains. So that is a dyed tag. And a stamp or stencil with ink. Now, again, I already had this stamp on my desk from my journal. This is an Anna Griffin stamp. I use it a lot, absolutely love it. But because I had to grab something from my stash, I've got this graphic 45 set, which is French Country. I've never used it, but I think there is a couple of, I got it at half price at a craft show, and I love it. There's a few elements here that I think I could use to go with these other things. I don't know what, but there's options there, so I'm going to use some of one or more of these in this project as well. I went to my drawer of stamp sets that I bought because I really like them and I haven't used them yet, and this was on top, so this is what I'm going to use. Anyway, I'm just going to have a bit of a think about it. Oh, sorry, and also I guess this counts as ephemera as well. I grabbed this before because it was in the Your Creative Studio box. I just grabbed a couple of bits and pieces. I'll use this first, but these were what I actually grabbed when I grabbed this. I went, oh, ephemera, I grabbed these, and then I thought, oh, look, I should probably do this as something a bit different. I went to my ephemera stash. So look, I probably have more bits and pieces than other people do, but I'm okay with that. This is my first one. I've got like 4 pages to cover, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right, I'll just stop my camera here, and then I will be back when I have a bit more of an idea what I'm going to do, and then I'll start crafting. So bear with me and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. The first thing I'm going to do is grab my ruler and my bone folder, and I'm going to fold up. I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. I'm going to do it about here. It's really quite thick cardstock, and I'm going to just do it about here and use my bone folder to crease it. And you may have seen in my craft with me video using my printables, that's a quick way to do it. You just make it flush here, and then you can just get a good fold. And there, I have made 2 pockets. So I will now glue that down. and that will give me, actually before I do that, I'm just going to ink the edges, and I think today I'll be using my tea dye distress ink and making it not too dark but giving it a little bit of colour. Now, rather than my usual Ranger sponges, I'm going to go with a different type of thing. It's called a sponging block. I've had them for many years, and got from an Australian company, which I don't think is around anymore. Stylish Impressions or something. It's a different type of texture. It's like a cellulose block or something, and it just gives really good coverage. It's easy to hold. There's like grips down the side. I've got them in like so many colors. I've got all my Adirondack ones and many of the distress colors, and it just gives a different finish to those sponging blocks that the distress range have. And you can actually put it flat on paper and get a nice coverage as well. Anyway, I use this all the time when I want to quickly cover paper and envelopes. So that's that. Yep. All right, so it's my, so I'm using Helmer 450 quick dry adhesive. Don't know what it's similar to. Actually, let me get some paper now. Don't know what it's similar to, quite frankly, but I got this recently and I'm loving it. Just doing the sides, making a pocket, and I just wipe that off so it doesn't block the top of the glue. There's a quick booklet with a pocket. I actually really like this. It's not, I guess it's kind of a slight corrugated cardstock, but it's I almost think of it as like a corduroy. It's really fine. It feels lovely. It's very tactile, and I've used it as like a layering piece on a card. You know, like you might have a different color cardstock and then use it as like backing to a stamped piece or something. But I don't know why. I was thinking I'd folded it to make a large card, maybe for a wedding or something, and then I went, I can't stamp on it. It's gonna like ruin the stamp, like it'll break it up. So for whatever reason, I didn't end up using it, but it was folded. It was, when I grabbed something from my stash, it was the first thing, and I was like, oh, that's no good. And then, no, I'll make a junk journal thing rather than a card thing. So, okay, so now we're looking at the front cover. I'm going to make something a bit square, I think. So that's now just under 15 centimeters. So I reckon if I make something, oh, how long is this? So 12.5 centimeters. So if I make this 12.5 centimeters square, just bear with me, I'm getting a bit more movement back in my arm, but it's still quite slow. If I do that 12.5 centimeters, on the other side, so it's easier to pick up. Right, so I can put that there. I'm just gonna use my sponging block to quickly ink up the edges. I'm gonna just sponge it up a bit too. And look, if this is the kind of thing you're interested in, I would recommend these sponging blocks any day of the week. And they used to come in singles, packs of 3, packs of 6, and I've got like at least 20 of them. But I just don't know if they're available anymore. So stylish sponging block, and you just wrote the colour on it. And as I said, it was an Australian company around for many years. I think they may have closed down during the, pandemic, as many small businesses did. But there may be some, they did distribute to other shops, Australian craft shops, and if that's the case, then, they were fairly inexpensive too. So, I love them, and I just stack them like that in my, I've got drawers from the stationery shop, and I just stack them like that in a drawer, or sometimes like that, but I've been told not to put them upside down. But yeah, I do them like that, and they fit on top of each other. Right, so that will go there like that. And what are we going to put on that? Will that work? If I maybe take off the top or the bottom? I think we need to get out some other dye. And I'm using my Distress inks today, not the oxides. I didn't want the thickness of the oxide. I also had some, and these are additional stuff. As I said, I'm not sure if we're allowed to use additional stuff, so maybe some of the lace. Yeah, I'll put that down. So yeah, I'm loving the quick dry adhesive. And if you're not familiar with this, and I wasn't, I just went to my craft shop and said, oh, I need more glue because I'm going through a lot of glue with junk journals. It's very similar to a glue gun. It's got that same smell, a bit like nail polish remover, but it's not hot. So I'm not sure what it is, but I love it. And I haven't had great success with glue gun. I'm really terrible with it. Probably need some lessons. But yeah, this is, for me, it's great. So let's put that down. And I got some left-handed tonic cush scissors. I am so excited. And they were like $7 or something from a shop that does like remained of craft stock and some secondhand things. And yeah, really excited to find those scissors because they're actually quite expensive and it's very hard to get the left-handed ones. And so it's just a local Sydney store that does that kind of stuff. So yay, I'll keep an eye on what they have, you know, in the future. They do prefer you to come in and pick things up, but I said can't drive at the moment, got a broken arm, so they were able to, you know, calculate postage for me and send it out. So that was great. So that would go there like that. So that's my lace. How do we want to do that? I like all of it. I don't really want to. I think if we just tear along the bottom. Yeah, I think that works. All right, so now I'm going to go a little bit darker with my ink. My next Distress ink, and this is my favorite, aged mahogany. See how easily this goes on. I find the movement a lot easier than the Ranger ones, and look, I do like the effect of the Ranger ones, but it's a different type of finish. This is, if you just want quick edging, you don't want it perfect, and like I don't do perfect. This is really quick and easy. I'm actually going to take some of the extra white off, and yeah, this is great. And look, I don't think I'm using these as intended. The demos that they used to do at the craft shows were, you know, put it on a flat bit of paper and you sponge all over it, and then you get another one and you sponge that and you blend the colours, and like, you know, I just use it for edging and aging. Yeah, I think that works. All right, before we do that, we're going to go around the whole front of it quickly with aged mahogany. Front, and that would go there, that would go there. Okay, so I'm going to put this down with double-sided tape. So yeah, I'm just finding these scissors great. They're comfortable to hold. Normally I use these kinds of things. Left-handed scissors are difficult to get. These are not a comfortable grip, but hey, they do the job. But these are like next level with the, you know, titanium and everything. So yeah, very excited to have them. I just flip that over the front accidentally. And so I'm thinking that this little pocket thing would be maybe a tuck thing to go in a junk journal. down first. Actually, maybe I'll do a little bit of stamping. Got this. Now, I do like the effect of stamping without a block, but because I can't put enough pressure on it right now, I am just going to get a block out. And I think we'll just do it in tea dye so we get a kind of not too dark an effect. Stamp on this paper first. It's a new stamp. Yeah, that's nice. You see the textured effect, like it's like a grain. Oh, I can't put too much pressure on my arm. Right, that'll do. Right, I might actually get some double-sided tape across the top and bottom as well, just to make sure it's secure. Just making sure I'm staying in shot. Put a few more stamps. And then that can go there. Oops. Go there. So, so when I said I have my butterfly stamp on my desk, I do, and I have, this is another one, and this is a company that's not around anymore. It's Lucy Stamps, so it's an Australian company. It's called an aging block, so it's got texture, which is like hatches. It's got a solid crackle thing. Well, I think it was solid once, but it's crackle now. It's got cracks, which is like hatches and dots. And it's got rust, which is like spots. And this never leaves my desk. I use it all the time. And another one that basically never leaves my desk is Somerset Studio or Stampington block. It's got text, it's got honeycomb, it's got like a stone embellishment, it's got lines, and then it's got a butterfly at one end and flower at the other. And I have used this, I think I've had it for 15 years. I use it all the time, one or more of them, just as background stamps, as feature stamps. You layer, you know, that light, feature that, and I use this as a shadow stamp, and then put this butterfly over the top, like, you know. These things are like permanent fixtures, so that's why I decided to look beyond for the stamps that I had purchased and never used. And look, we all do that. I've been watching videos of people, you know, cleaning up their studio, making their workspaces tidy, that kind of thing, because we're moving house soon, and I'll have a dedicated crafting space, and I'm looking at storage ideas. I mean, I have some storage, I just want to, you know, make it better. And so many people have stamps that they've bought or products that they've bought and then haven't used. I'm like, I know what that's like. So we are not alone. Anyone who has that situation, don't worry about it. You are not alone. So I think the top of this is a little bit bare. And I thought that I would put a postage stamp sticker on. Like, it does say a sticker, but like, I've got a bag full of them and I want to use them. And I love this. This is like a specimen jar, like a vintage specimen jar sticker. And I'm just going to ink up the edges a little bit. I think that white's a little bit stark. Yeah, and I know postage stamps have white edges, but we don't have to. Now, this is my handy tip. To peel stickers, which I found on a forum buried somewhere. You just press it down and then you peel the sticky tape away. And there you have it. Gonna do that. Alright, so that's my cover done. I think that looks quite nice. I mean, the stamps don't show up brilliantly well, but they're just kind of adding a little bit of texture. And look, it's not one of my official stamps, but I'm just going to add a little bit of aging around the edges with this, which like no one else will be able to buy because it doesn't exist anymore. But you know, I'm just going to show you what it looks like. And of course, it's not going to show up particularly well on this cardstock. That's all right. And I shouldn't be stamping with my left hand. You can just see there's some lines and some dots. It's just to give things a little bit of texture. Everyone's going to have their own texture stamps that do similar things. Anyway, so that's that. And just in terms of our list, we've used fabric, ribbon or lace. We've used the cardstock from the stash. Haven't used a book page yet. Used some of the craft paper sheet. We've used a sticker. We've used one of our ephemera pieces. Haven't used something dyed, and we use a stamp. So we're doing pretty well in terms of the list. Now, open up. Oh, it's sitting flat. That's all right. So, where did I put my other things? All right. So here's something dyed. That would be a tag, and it could go in there. But we don't want to leave it just like that. What do we want to do with this? How about we look at some of those other ephemera bits and pieces. Yeah, so I'm going to put that there. Before I do, I will do this. And look, it's not 100% covered, but it is a bit more covered than it was. This is like a coated texture on the front, so it's a bit slippery. Hopefully that stays on. Yeah, I think it will. Now, what else do we want to do with the tag? It's going to be this a sign. So I'm going to use this again. I might have to use a darker colour this time. It didn't even show up. Right, so that ties it into the front cover. And just wipe that off. I also have one that's a bee with a crown, which I think is really cute. So I'll see if that works. Might even have to go for darker ink. That didn't really show up. Maybe lower down where it's a bit lighter. There's a little bit something there. All right, so we're going to edge this in there. And for those wondering, I'm not using the tea dye here because the tag colouring is too dark and it won't show up. So question, I still have and use my Adirondack ink pads quite a bit. I know that they were discontinued by Ranger a while back, but I still love the colours, and I have all the reinkers. So does anyone else still have theirs and use them? I mean, I know that everyone loves their distress inks, and yeah, that's fine, but I just find for those kind of really earthy colours, like my butterscotch and my you know, those kinds of things, I just love my Adirondacks. So how about you? Do you still use yours? What do you think? Or other products, you know, just because they're discontinued, do you stop using them? There's other products that, you know, I still have, like, still got my shadow stamp inks. I know shadow stamping's not really popular these days, but I still use them from time to time. And I still have my original ink pads. And because I got the reinker, because the person who I did my original classes with way back always said, when you buy the stamp pad, buy the reinker, which was amazing advice, which I followed as best I could. And so I have stamp pads and reinkers, and I keep using them. I mean, sometimes the actual pad itself will get all ganky, but generally not. And so, you know, and I actually have stuff that I genuinely don't use anymore, and I probably need to do a bit of a clear out, and maybe I'm thinking of doing a bit of a sale or something, because, you know, I should, you know, if there are people who use pigment inks and things like that who would be interested, I should share my things with them, because I don't use them. Now, this was in my stash, and I grabbed it in case I needed more. This is a perfume box, but the inside of the box is beautiful. It's this sort of vintage woodcut style print, and I just thought maybe I could layer some. I don't know. Does that look nice with this background there, or is that just like overdoing it? I've still got to put something along here. Maybe I'll put some of it along there. Yeah, so, like, obviously, just cut it actually. Obviously, in terms of, you know, companies that have products to sell, it's in their interest to discontinue something and bring something new out, because they want you to buy the new thing, and it's, you know, that's their business and whatever. I get that. But if I already own something and I'm using it, I'm not necessarily going to get rid of that just because someone else has something new that they want to sell. In marketing, which I studied and do from my day-to-day work, there's a business model called planned obsolescence. It's how they want you to stop using things after a certain amount of time and buy a new one. For example, a refrigerator. They want you to stop. I'm going to have to use because I just cannot get this straight. They want you to buy a new refrigerator every couple of years, and a certain number of years, like maybe 10. Same with a washing machine. And your washing machine may last longer than that. But their business model is based on you buying a new one every few years. And to some extent, it's the same with crafting products. They need you to keep buying things. And so they discontinue it, and then they might bring it back slightly different or a new formula a few years later. Now, I don't know if they're going to bring back the Adirondack range, but they've seemed to have released some of those colours under different things. And actually, I really like the ones I've got. I'm going to keep using them. I'm going to use my Martha Stewart punch. Probably get rid of the butterflies though. No, I won't do it on that one. I might do it on another one. Yeah, so they have companies that, you know, they plan for things to break down. So, you know, when you hear, oh, things don't last as long as they used to, that's deliberate. It's the business model. Their business model is to make you buy a new one every couple of years rather than repair it, because they get more money when you buy something new. And because I work in marketing and I know all these things, I don't feel guilty for not having the latest and newest in everything. I just buy the things I like the look of, and I keep using the old stuff. And as a journaler or junk journaler where we use vintage stuff anyway, it's all right. I'm fine with that. Oh, too much glue. Too much glue. Right, so that's that. So that can go there. I feel like maybe, oh, I pulled the one out already, the blue one. I feel like I need to cut some of this white off. It's a bit too much. So here's my terrible fussy cut. I'm just shocking at it, but it got rid of some of that extra white that I don't like. And now I'm just going to peel the sticker with the other half of the sticky tape I had before. I'm just going to put that there. And you know, it's not matchy in terms of colour schemes, but that's okay. And what I'm going to do, I might use that for another tag, so I'll keep that. I tore that. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I did say I was going to use this. I might use it on here. That's a very close colour, isn't it? Maybe I will use a different colour one just for contrast. I think that's better. So that might count as cheating, in which case I apologise. But I just thought it would be better to have something that wasn't the same colour. Now I need my book pages. So I was going to, there's not very big book pages, which is I think part of the problem I'm having. It's okay. We'll tie this up a bit. Everywhere. This is why I don't normally keep my camera on when I'm crafting. I'm a really messy crafter. Although not normally this messy. Maybe just like backing pages. And that would go in front of it. I think that works. Maybe even a little bit of tear dye, at least where the tear is. There's nothing left. Do that again. Quite like tea dye. One of the, actually my favourite is antique linen, although with the colour cardstock I was using I didn't think it would work. Having said that, I don't like, it's alright, but I don't like the colour that antique linen is in the Distress Oxides. It's kind of weird, creamy, bizarro colour, and it's not really anything like the colour of the original Distress ink. And maybe because it would have been too pale or something, or just the colour combination didn't work. I don't know. I'm not an industrial chemist, but it was a bit disappointing to me. It wasn't the colour that I had hoped it would be. I do still use it, and it looks actually quite good on dark colour papers because it lightens them up. Move that out of the way. Yeah, stick that down. I think that's probably a glue stick. So it's just a bit disappointing, but you know, as much as I like the oxides, I just get a bit sick of them. I like the lightness of, right way? Yeah, I think so. I guess almost translucency of the Distress inks. And I feel that a lot of that is missing from the oxides. keeping count. This is my third type of adhesive with the tape and the quick dry that smells like nail polish remover. Alright, so I think we need something a little bit across there. A little bit of colour, maybe just that strip. Which is taken from that front page. You may have noticed that the stuff that I use is often very on the pinky side of brown. I don't mind vintage photo, I do use it, but for the most part I find it a bit too yellow. I like my aging with a dash of pink or burgundy. So for me, aged mahogany is much more part of my colour palette, as you can see. And certainly it's what my friends expect. They're not at all surprised when they see it. That, and then this tag goes in here. And that's nice. I think that needs a label. Well, that's very unsatisfactory. I can either have the shape I want in the wrong colour, or these ones. I mean, at least that's a bit lighter. I just come up with a better storage system for labels. I've just left them in the boxes they came in, but I can't really find anything, which is all a bit unsatisfactory. These ones are a bit smaller, but I don't like the colour. That one's not too bad. I like that one. Yeah, that one works. Didn't even stick it straight after all that. That's a bit better. I really wish that had been in a colour that matched everything else, but you know, can't have everything. Okay, so on this side, what are we going to do? We're going to make this into I'm not going to make it a tag, I'm going to round the corners. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of a tag, but not the same kind of tag. More of a journal card, maybe. So this is the other part of my craft card. And I need to do something with the back here. Oh, I know, I've got some paper. This is, I use some of this in something else. And then this is like the leftovers. And I used the wrong kind of glue with it, so that was terrible. And this came in my the Creative Studio Vintage White Bar box, I think, but it was sitting on my desk when I started this, so as far as I'm concerned, that's legit. Yeah, I think that'll go there. I used a wet glue on it and it didn't work, to line an envelope or something, and it didn't work. It was just terrible. And I used to use this kind of stuff all the time. I think I just used double-sided tape back then. I'm using glue stick now, hopefully that works. But I used to like use a paintbrush at the time, then changed to an aquash brush, and I used to paint around it all really carefully so I could fray the edges and, you know, that kind of stuff. Mulberry papers, handmade papers, that kind of stuff. Oh, what am I doing? And yeah, used to have a lot of mulberry paper layers underneath bits of stamped cardstock. There you go. Right, so that's that. Alright, so I'm gonna go on this in aged mahogany. to, first of all, in tea dye. If it doesn't work, we'll go darker, but we're going to use our Queen Bee. What's there is visible. And then we'll use the fleur-de-lis. Off the page. Okay. So from one side. And then on the other side, you put that. Oh, I know. I'll line it with book paper first. Yeah. I've also joined another group, Shanuki's Full Deck Challenge. Haven't started that yet, but I hope to soon. And that is basically you get a deck of cards and you alter them one at a time, and yeah, it sounds like fun. I've been watching her for a while do it for her own cards, so I thought that would be a really fun project to do. Okay, so I've glued that on, I have trimmed it so that it fits, and now I'm just going to ink up the edges a little bit. This time I'm using tea dye, so it's aged mahogany on one side, tea dye on the other. Doesn't really matter, it's just about defining the edges a bit. I'm just gonna do this over. And I'm going to put this down. Oh no, I was going to, I don't even know where it's gone. I'm in such a mess. Yeah. Right. So I will cut this out. And this is like old ephemera from an Australian magazine, I think, or newspaper. And I got this in a collectible set from a craft show, and I think it was one of the craft shows I went to. It's been printed just on cardstock, but I think it's an address in Melbourne. Okay, so I'm going to do this in aged mahogany, so it stands out. Yeah, so this was, you know, I got this before it was easy to get your own printables, and most people didn't have colour printers and things. And I kept, you know, hoarding things, as we all do. It's one of those, oh, this is too good to use, I'll hang on to it kind of things. You've got to use them. What's the point of hiding them? And then it's like a craft journaling card on the back. So okay, so now I want to tie it into everything else, because this is obviously looking a bit different. I'm going to, do we want a butterfly stamp? I think we do. Those colours are a bit too close, I think. Let's stand out a bit. And yes, as you can see, we've gone off into New Horizons. But I want to make this something that's like not just half finished. I want to make sure that it's a finished product by the end of this video. I don't think that works either. Look, I guess we've got bees on the back. I might leave it for now and maybe put something on the background. Maybe that, which I was going to put on there, but maybe that goes there. Yeah, I think that works. So this glue isn't quite as dimensional as a glue gun, but in all other ways it seems to be very similar. And I have to like close the nozzle and clear it right away, or else it, you know, dries hard. And it gets very stringy as well. But I do really enjoy it. It's good glue. And it dries very quickly. Oh, I didn't ink it up. Oh, having said it dries quickly. So if it doesn't dry that quickly, I have to do it when I put it down. It's already getting stringy. I'm gonna have to leave it like that. Bit of a mess up. That's right. So we need something for here. I do have more of that box. I don't know if I want it to be exactly the same though. So let's just not go there. So at the moment we've got that on the front. Very happy with that. I've got a tag that can be journaled on. I've got that. Just check my list. Fabric, ribbon or lace. Check. Cardstock, yes. Book page, yes, we've done 2. Sheet of craft paper, yes, we've used 1 in 2 different places. Sticker, yes. Embellishment or ephemera piece, yes, we've got 2. Something dyed, that was the tag. And stamp or stencil, yeah, we've used that. So that's all good. We've ticked all our boxes, and we've still got a few bits that we can keep working with. And as I said, I know that I've got more or multiple copies of some things, but that's because I want this piece to be finished and not just half done. So, right, so that's the different thickness. I didn't think that through, did I? Should have just gone with the 2 thinner ones. Right, I know. I do have. I'm going to put that on the back cover. I have a nice floral piece. Yeah, I can cut that off. I might do that. This is a hand pressed paper. From, oh, I don't know. My cat's joined us, in case you can't hear the meowing. He likes being part of the videos and podcasts. So I can put that there. And of course I didn't measure, so it's a different thickness. That's just the way it goes. So unlike some people, I'm really bad at cutting straight lines to the, you know, the right angle. I've seen people sort of eyeballing it and doing reasonably well. I'm not. I do a lot of torn edges. I can torn or else with my tearing ruler, and I'm okay with that. But if I actually need something to be straight, I have to use my cutter, because otherwise it's just like a disaster. So I used to have, and I don't like the guillotine ones, so I actually found a paper trimmer just before Christmas, and I'm very happy with that. So, right, so it's different, but I'm okay with that. maybe put this here. Yep, it's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Top and tail it. So it hangs over the edge at the top and the bottom. That's what I mean by that. It's kind of in the middle. And so yeah, brings it in to match. Still feeling that that looks, I mean, it does match that, but I feel that it doesn't feel like it belongs. I'm not really sure how I can bring that in. I asked for suggestions, but obviously you guys aren't able to respond to that. So I'm going to put another one of these butterflies I need to fussy cut on the back. Maybe I'll, right, if I do one that has some blue, that ties in with that blue one. And I know I didn't grab the first one this time, but I need to make this match a bit more. So I did use the first one I grabbed last time. Okay, so I've added that butterfly there, and I think that brings in the blue elements. And look, there is a little bit of blue in this tag, not a lot, but there's enough that you can see that there's a bit of harmony there. So I think this journal card here is the one that I'm having a little bit of trouble with. Maybe there is a little tiny butterfly element we can add to it. And look, I guess I did grab a butterfly box, but that's because it was right next to me, and I'd seen Shanuki do something with her vintage butterfly box recently, and I'd been thinking of doing something similar. That's why it was right there. But oh, maybe, oh look, this is something I made the other day, and look, that looks quite big, but when you punch it out, to me it looks quite smaller. But this is one of my printables, and I had punched out my printable with that little tag shape or label shape, laid it on some lace and put it on some corrugated card, and I was like, oh, just made a little, you know, I just made myself a little cluster, but maybe that could go down here. Yeah, I think that works, and that then ties it into the other elements, because it's already got some lace and it's got corrugated card, which, you know, isn't actually craft exactly, but it uses craft in the corrugation, and it's got a butterfly. So and it has been actually edged in Distress Oxide, and see how it's a lot more milkier than the same color in the Distress ink. Okay, I'm happy with that now. Now for the back, in my stash I found this bit of paper. I love pinstripe paper. This is obviously an off-cut from something, and I wanted to see if I could use it. I reckon that bit there, so put that on there. See me be unable to cut the straight line. Alright, so that there, and then maybe we cut along there or something. And see, it's not exactly, but it's the same tone as the colours that we're already using. I think this is called like Grandpa's Pajamas or something. Love it. Okay, so I reckon that way. I like stripes going down, pinstripes going down. Alright, yep, that works. So we do this. Now, I did want to use my Martha Stewart lace edge punch. I'm not sure on what. Maybe I will put it on something on this back cover, but I thought this is a good way to cover up a lot of a big bit of card quickly, because otherwise you're stuck with a huge bit of real estate. That's very white and stripy. Now I'm just gonna, oh, excuse me, this is painful. Just ink up my tea dye again. Going messy, going really messy. It's late in the project. My arms are aching a bit. All right. So I've edged this in aged mahogany. Didn't want to edge this in aged mahogany. I think it would be too much. I think the tea dry adds a bit of contrast and also highlights the corrugations corduroy effect in the card. I think this paper is called Fusilli or something. I might have made that up, but I think I have a memory of something being like that. I just want to bring this edge, the white edge around a little bit. All right, so I think that's going to work. I'm going to use double-sided tape on this bit. I have 2 nice little bits left, which I will use on something else, and I'm so excited that I found it and dug it out because I had a lot of that paper, with scrapbook paper in a set or something. I had about 5 or 6 sheets, and I think that was probably the main reason I bought the sheets at the time. I think I had it in a blue as well, because it's quite thin paper. And as I've said before, as a card maker, it's hard to get through a lot of this stuff, these 12 by 12 sheets. So, you know, I'd buy a pack and it would last me a long time. But I just love pinstripes. Love them in many, many different colours. All right, so there we go. That's the back copy. Now, I want to... couple of options left, so I've pulled that out. I have this, but I also already used that one in there, so I pulled 2 of those out. Don't know why. They've maybe stuck together. Got that. I've also got this, which is a bird. I don't know if we want to introduce a bird now. It's also a different colour palette. It's black and cream. On the back is peacock. Yeah, we got that. Maybe put that aside. So we have maybe that, and maybe something. Maybe another bit of craft card. I have more. Yeah, I'll get another bit. Yeah, I'm liking that. Maybe that way. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it narrower, and then I'm going to punch along the bottom. And if you're thinking that I'm pulling my cutting thing up a lot, I am. Normally I try to do a lot of cutting at one time, but obviously I'm kind of thinking of this as I go. So apologies for the big green monster. Incredible Hulk, that's what I should call it, the Incredible Hulk. Alright, so that's that. And now I'm going to use my Martha Stewart Lace Edge Punch, which from memory was quite expensive when I got it, but I love it so much. So I have punched this with my Martha Stewart Lace Edge Punch, which is quite stiff, and I need to use some greaseproof paper or something to get it a bit more pliable again. But it's done. I am now going to ink up this with tea dye. So I just want to, because I've got the burgundy paper on behind it, so I want to have the contrast again. And look. Just put a sponge over it. I don't know if it's worth stamping. Actually, I have a script stamp. I should maybe stamp with my script stamp. Is there anything else left that we need to do? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm going to stamp that with my script stamp. Age it around the edges. This is the one I mentioned, my Stampington cube. So, had for a long time. It hasn't come up very well on the cardstock, but you know, it's just enough to add a little bit of texture. I'll wash that off later. don't obsessively ink everything, but I do ink a lot of stuff. Partly because I'm not going to fussy cut this, and I hate the white edges. I guess in this case it's not purely white, it's more of a greeny colour, but still. I still think it needs something. Oh, look, very bare, isn't it? Ink this up again and try it again. I'm not sure why it didn't turn out very well. Maybe it's just the ink on the craft cardstock, but oh, the ink has turned out okay. Just doesn't want to absorb. Or maybe it's too absorbent, I don't know. I wonder if the Distress Oxide would work better. Well, so there you have it. I had to break out the oxides after all. But only because this particular craft cardstock has it's really oddly absorbent, more so than other craft cardstock I've used before. Anyway, so I think that will look okay now. Just didn't want it on a plain craft background. And now I'm going to glue it. Then I'm going to glue this down. And I think I'm going to put one more of these. So where do I think it'd go? Maybe there. Or there. Look on the front. Yeah, I think so. So I'll just I'm gonna go in. Okay, and there we have it. It is a like pocket folio thing. It uses the items that we were told to use, and I admit that I've used several more of them than I think I was supposed to, but this is the first time I've done one of these. So we have fabric, ribbon or lace, cardstock from my stash, which is the A4 bit of Fusilli card that I had already folded in half, and then realised at the time that it was the texture was wrong for what I was trying to do, so I couldn't use it. And I grabbed it, and then today I went, oh, what do I do with this? So I decided to make this little pocket thing. A book page, so I've used, they were quite small, so I used 1/20.5 here, and I've used one here. A sheet of craft paper, so I've used part of it there, and I've used part of it here to make a journal card. A sticker, well, we've used a few. I've got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, so that's probably, you know, counts as a few, but this was the first one I saw in that pack, and so I said I would use that. And this was the first one I pulled out of the butterfly box, and even though I had nothing else blue, I've made sure I've included a few other blue elements so that it tones with that. An embellishment or ephemera piece. So the first one I grabbed from my Your Creative Studio box was actually, I think it was that butterfly, and then I grabbed a few, and then I thought, oh look, I know that the butterflies are all going to match, so then I grabbed another ephemera pack that I'd had for many years, this ephemera pack here, and said I'd use something from here. Originally I was going to use that one, it was the wrong colour, didn't work at all, so I've used this one. And something died, well, that is my tag. And then something stamped. So I've got quite a few stamp spots. I've got here, and I've got here, and here. Yeah. So every page has something stamped on it. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed that. And my messy crafting process. Sorry for the bits where I've had to stop and cut it out because I just unable to use my dominant arm because it's broken. It's getting better slowly, but I appreciate you watching to the end of this video. So like, comment, subscribe. We'll have more videos coming up soon, and you should check out some of the other projects that have the hashtag oops look what I made. And thanks to Mandy and Justine for a really fun challenge. Catch you next time. Bye.